Yeah, it's now being recorded. Okay, yeah. So straight away on the energy source screen, we can see that there are high priorities around big fields, polarity, and the vertical axis. So this is looking at how the energy of the body is sitting in relation to the Earth's natural energy field. And we can see that there are some priorities around here. So if we look at the big fields themselves, okay, we can see straight away from the help files that come up that there is this can affect sleep, okay, heart rate variability. It can affect things like blood pressure. Okay, so yes, there is a sort of a heart link within there. Okay, it can be affected by geopathic stress. So if someone is susceptible to geopathic stress, it can also affect or add to long-term stress in the body.
Yeah, because he is very sensitive and he's very, there is this solar flares recently, quite active solar flares, and she's like feeling like is very sensitive even to the energy that related to this solar flare, unable to sleep because it's like too much energy. Obviously that's probably what you are saying about the big field, no?
Yeah, absolutely. So, even though the big, BFA may not have been like showing as a recommendation in this situation, I was definitely saying let's look at BFA for this person. Okay, so when we look at within the big fields, we'll see that the highest priority within there is the vertical axis. So this can be affected by geopathic stress. We're again looking at the heart rate variability. It could be related to somebody who is perhaps having headaches, sleeping issues. Okay, again, a sort of a fight-flight stress response. Okay, even we can look at heart palpitations within here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other one thing that's coming up is polarity. Okay, so this is showing us that there's an error or a change where the body prefers to have a more negative charge. Okay, it's to support the functions of the whole of the body field. It's when somebody is more positively charged. Often we'll see this when people travel a lot, whether that be air travel or whether that be by just by the car, a train, bus, coach, whatever. But it can also be someone who is very susceptible to electromagnetic frequencies.
Yeah, that could be the case.
So, this is then going to have a corresponding effect into the chakra system. So looking at the energy balance in the body. So one of the things I would say, just looking at this first screen, if this person is going to be with you for about at least half an hour to an hour, what I would do, I would actually use the radiation cycle on them.
In the miHealth.
Yeah.
What is the?
Okay, so if you go into your protection.
Yeah, 1 second.
So go into the protection folder.
Protection. Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, and then within there you'll see the yin yang sign, and it says radiation.
Yeah, it's like a yin yang. Yeah.
Yeah. We click on that, and then it'll come up with, and it'll show you 34 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so all you do is press the big silver button. Okay, and then this is now working. Now, what's interesting with the protection function, it's working on polarity, it's working on heart driver, and it's also working on the spleen integrator.
Right. Okay. And that is to hold it near to his body?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah, so they could just basically hold it sort of in the solar plexus area. They could just have it sort of resting on their lap. They could have it on the desk.
Yeah.
Or just, as long as it's sort of sat within their body field, in effect.
Okay.
So my recommendation would be the radiation cycle, and actually it's a really useful cycle to run for anybody who. Well, actually, let's face it, we're all affected by EMFs and travel and exposure to negativity in the world. I mean, you only have to turn the TV on and you feel like you want to cry. So it's a really good function to use. And the other function that's really good to use, especially when you see things about coming up with the chakra system, would be to use the transformation program, and that's 27 minutes. I wouldn't use them both in the same session, but one or the other.
And that's once a day, or when he comes to the
So
clinic.
when basically, I mean, if you can bring them back in, perhaps in 2 or 3 days and run the cycle again or the other cycle, that would be a really great opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's is this one, and the other one you mentioned was
It's under the transformation folder.
Okay, 1 second.
So if you go to the transformation.
Yeah.
And you've got love, focus, honesty, gratitude, compassion, willpower, and trust. If you click on the transformations at the bottom,
yeah,
this is 27 minutes, and this again is all off body. Well, this will take you through the transformation program for 27 minutes.
okay.
It's a great way of rebalancing the chakra system.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
That's a really nice one for anyone, so if you're feeling a little bit stressed, there's too much information coming in, even travel can offset people's emotions and offset the chakra system. So it's really a lovely program to use.
Okay, thank you.
Let's have a look at the energy strength system. So yeah, we've got the cellular energy coming up. So this could be looking at the mitochondria within the cells. It's general internal communication. Okay, so is he feeling tired at the moment?
Yeah, very, very tired. Yeah. It's like running out of energy. It's like sometimes he's saying, I cannot even go out of the house because he's very, very tired.
Yeah. Okay. So so cellular energy is coming up. I mean, again, this anybody who is susceptible to electromagnetic field again could have this could be create an imbalance in their cellular system. Okay. So it's also looking at the link to the body's immune system.
Right. And this is the ED3.
This is ED3, yeah.
Yeah. And probably it's on the infoceuticals that was being prescribed to him, probably.
We'll have a look at it. We'll see what the recommendations looks at for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then his kidney energy.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is interesting because this is in Chinese medicine. This is affected because of fear, isolation, feeling isolated. So we look at the emotional aspect of that.
Yeah.
And how that could be affecting the kidney energy. Also, fight or flight stress. We're looking at the function of the adrenals here. It's going to look at the energy, stamina in the body. So if our kidney energy is low, generally our energy system is out of alignment as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She mentioned several times about the adrenals, like he's running out of energy response to stress or this type of thing. Yeah.
So, but if I go to the energy rejuve, now obviously there's only the 2 purples coming up. If we go to the orange as well. Now, interestingly enough, he hasn't got the adrenals coming up, which is ER34. So it may be that he doesn't need that at the moment, but it could be something that you could add anyway. Okay, so if you wanted to look at
how you were entering into this section from, you were before in energy.
I was in energy strength, and then I just went and had a look at energy rejuve.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, now he's got the kidneys coming up. Okay, but it's not showing as adrenals. It's just showing as kidney, but not saying that that you couldn't use adrenal stress if you felt that was important. So let's look at the energy flow screen. No high priorities in here. And what's really interesting is that the heart, the heart function is coming up only on a yellow. So we wouldn't really necessarily look at that as a major player on the first scan. Okay. When we look at the energy flow, there's nothing showing again with the heart.
Yeah.
When we would have expected.
Like it's not heart related, no?
It doesn't look well. We're not saying it's not heart related, but if there is a heart issue there, it may be something that there's other priorities sitting on top of that we need to clear before we can get to clear that that heart field.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
So we look at the shock spleen meridian because it's yellow, areas coming up around the fourth ventricle field. I can't remember what this is. You'd understand more about that.
No, I've never heard that word, neuro.
Okay, well, that's both of us then, yeah. Okay, but if we think about the shock spleen meridian, so in Chinese medicine, we look at the spleen as being the shock absorber within the body. It's the one that takes all the knocks, all the bangs. It's the one that kind of supports it. So it's that emergency function, isn't it, of the spleen?
Yeah.
That's really what we're looking at in here. But we can go into if different areas, so we can actually look at the spleen in here as well. But again, it's a yellow. It's not a high priority.
Yeah.
Okay. But if we look at the emotions around this, we can look at worry, sympathy, contentment, acceptance. But also we think about the this sort of collapse and shock and generally exhaustion with people when this one's showing.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, it's a yellow, it's not high priority. Look at the mind body.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know it's only yellow, but love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about the love is,
Yeah.
and this is a great infraceutical for anyone who is is struggling with heart challenges. It's something that I'm taking a lot of at the moment. I don't have a heart challenge, but apart from a broken one, emotionally. But it's just helps to bring everything back into balance. So and then again, you could use the love application from the mind section of the miHealth when you're working with your client. Yeah.
Okay.
So
the interesting thing is the love was not an infoceutical for him.
Yeah.
But I did the scanning to his partner, and the partner came with the love infoceutical. And I was saying, well, there's something like an issue in between.
Well, see, in this situation, it's a nice idea for them both to take the love infoceutical.
Right. Okay.
Because what it's going to do is going to help to balance.
Yeah.
And one of the challenges when someone is undergoing any form of investigation, because having sort of being hospital appointments, tests, and all it's I've been through that myself. It's hard. It's mentally exhausting. Because you're constantly waiting for results, and you turn up, and you basically the NHS system in this country is amazing, but it's also very much you are a number.
Yeah.
And and you're every time you go for a test, it's kind of like they're just taking one part of the body and then looking at that. Can't find anything here, we'll refer you on to someone else. Can't find anything, we'll refer you on to someone else. So you kind of like you become on this emotional conveyor belt often. So so the brainstem hologram is showing we've got a priority 3 coming up around the kidneys, which is isolation.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, that's a very important one.
Okay. There's no other priorities within the brainstem hologram. Okay. But we can see all of the match, where this actually matches, which organs are actually matching within the body. Okay. But it can relate to emotional conflicts around themes of survival, existence, and family.
Yeah, very much around that area. Yeah.
Okay. Have a look at the emotions. So security seems to be a challenge here. Okay. So we think about security, and most of us, we like to feel like we're secure in our lives, in our relationships, and our work. Security is quite a big thing for most people. And if we feel our security is out of balance, that can create vulnerability and fear within us. Okay, so this is where the meditations come in really, come into their own, because it will actually pick up on areas within the our emotional area that can then embed that into the personalized meditation. But if we think about the yellows on here as well, we've got love, we've got compassion, we've got joy, empowerment, we've got fear, and we've got envy and blame. Okay, now whilst they're only yellow, they're not a high priority, but what it means is they're kind of like sitting below that. They're kind of waiting to come out.
Yeah.
In effect. Okay, so it would be, the meditation would be really good in this situation for this client, especially, if help them relax, to help them sort of, become more in tune with their emotions. It's also a great support for people, especially when people aren't able to meditate. I struggled to meditate most of my life, if I'm honest. I'm like, my mind would just wander off into all different tangents. And what I found with having a more of a personalized meditation, I will actually take time to use the meditation, and because it's a guided meditation, it's helping me to clear and just to listen to what is being said in the meditation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it might be something that that they could look at within here. Okay. Immunity.
Yeah.
So we've got central nervous system.
Yeah.
Okay. So looking at the whole of the central nervous system. Again, if somebody is highly stressed, it's that inner communication within that system. Okay. It can also affect the myocardium field.
Yeah. So this quite stressy, I have to say.
Yeah. So it can help with those people who have got mental confusion, people perhaps who have been infected by childhood virus and things like that, so delayed development. But generally, we're looking at sort of an overload of stress. So there's that imprint within the body field, which could affect the physical body as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. CFI is primarily looking at immunity around cold and flu. Okay, can affect the respiratory system.
Yeah.
Okay. The liver and bacteria are yellow in general, so there's nothing really of any. I wouldn't even look at these because they're not a priority at the moment. If we go to the stars, okay, so the memory imprinter. I haven't seen this one before. Okay, so this is looking at all parts of the actual brain. Okay, so looking at our emotional state here. Okay, so it's the information that's imprinted into the body field, which then looks at our emotions and experiences, which we then is circulated via the body. Okay, through the blood. Okay.
It's very, very interesting because because of this heart feeling, he has panic that he has like a issue with the heart, like heart attack or angina, and he been rushed to casualties in 2 occasions, and nothing was found. But it's like it's an imprint of this panic and nervous system impact on him. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because this is actually, I suppose, when somebody is kind of going through that whole we're going to check this, and Emma, I can't even begin to imagine what he's going through. But because that can then become part of our identity, so all of a sudden you kind of like your identity is the person who's got the heart issue, or your identity is the person that's got the the blood issue, or the digestive issue. And it's kind of like we the medical profession will look at your, I suppose, your identity, and help you to embrace that identity in effect and take ownership of that. But actually that's not really helping us, because it then becomes part of who we are. And then it becomes become, I suppose, almost boring to other people, because that's all we talk about. That's it becomes the main focus in our lives. It becomes about who we are. Okay. So also, you can obviously looking at how to stop him sort of panicking and feeling as though this is my life now. Okay. So yeah, it's I'm hoping that memory imprinter was recommended. So energy redo, when we're just looking at the priority purpose, it's just coming up the gallbladder and the ankle joints. Now, ankle joints is referring to the gallbladder meridian. So looking at kind of more sort of digestion here. Okay. But also, this is interesting. As long as he's talking about broken or injured ankles, that might not necessarily be the case, but it's a resistance to wanting to move forward or going down a certain path.
Right.
If we look at the function of the gallbladder, the mind-body association with the gallbladder is about courage and decision making. Okay. It may be the fear of something being taken away from us.
So this is something like can be applied the miHealth.
Yeah, so this is where you would apply the miHealth. So we go to the recommendation screen. Okay. Yeah. And we look at the recommendations. So we've got this is where you would then use the miHealth on ER17, ER20, ER28, ER32, Supercell, which is the matrix. You've got the MRs on your miHealth, haven't you?
Sorry?
You have the MR functions on your miHealth.
What? I don't know what it is. Where shall I go to?
You should have a folder called MR.
MR, ER, yeah?
Yeah, you have you not got MR? Okay, well, I'm going to get these added to your miHealth for you. So when we finish the call, what I'll need you to do is to actually go back onto the BioSync and update your miHealth.
Sorry, at the end of the meeting.
Okay, what I'm going to do, actually, let me just do a stop share for a minute. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to these should have been added to your miHealth when you purchased the system. So let me just go back into I'm just going to go into the back office. So just bear with me for a moment.
Yeah.
And
do I have to do a sync with the computer?
We're going to have to update your miHealth in a moment, just to make sure that they have been added for you. That's an error on our part, so I do apologize for that.
No problem. I don't know. Do I need a cable to connect to the computer?
You will need the cable to connect that, yes, please.
1 second. Do I connect the device?
Yeah, if you can connect your miHealth to your computer.
Yeah, it's done now. Yeah, it's
Okay, cool, lovely. And if you can open up the BioSync application on your computer.
Which one? The
one that we use to do the scanning with.
Okay. Yeah, 1 second. Oh, yes, I know what you are talking.
Yeah.
miHealth updater is that one, yeah?
That's the one, yes, please.
Owner information, check for updates.
Check for updates, yeah. Yeah, check for updates.
Update. Yeah, now it's doing something on the miHealth.
Yeah, so there should be like a yellow bar going across that she's showing it's updating.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so just leave that. That'll be doing its thing for a minute. So we didn't. So that's not. And apologies again for that. Let me go back into share screen with you.
Yeah.
And right. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the scan that we were looking at, Adam's scan.
Adam, the other one, the one above.
Oh, yeah, oh, no, you're right, thank you. Yeah. Okay. So when we look at the energy rejuve screen, we've also got this thing called the matrix regulators.
Matrix regulation.
Okay. So when you look at the recommendations, we're all going to use the MR1, which is a supercell matrix, and MR3, which is a restore the matrix. So if we go back to energy rejuve and look at the MRs, so we can see MR1 is the supercell.
Yeah.
Okay. So what this is doing is going to help the body to restore the information within cell metabolism. Okay. So where there is a loss of information within the body field. Okay. So it can also help with where there could be inflammation or when there's a challenge with some form of organ function. Okay, so it's actually if you think about the matrix regulators as being a bit like the London Underground system, so you've got all those trains that have been kind of running around all day and never seem to collide with each other because there's a master control system that's looking after that. But if that fails, then those trains basically everything just stops. So if you think about the matrix regulators within the body field as being a bit like the underground operating system, we need to, it's re-energizing those pathways so that everything can work harmoniously together. So we've got the supercell drive, then it's not high priority, but we're also going to what we call restored matrix. Okay, so this biogenically is looking at heavy metals in the body.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's going to be correcting information whether there's a health issue or not. Okay, so again, it's not a high priority, but it's coming up with both of those. So you're going to have the MRs on your miHealth in a moment. Yeah,
it's already there. It's already there.
Okay, fantastic. So if you click on the MRs, then you'll see now that you've got those additional functions.
Oh wow, that's MR129. Yeah.
Okay. You've also got the full matrix regulation. So if you click on the one at the bottom which says full matrix regulation,
yeah,
okay, this is 54 minutes. Yeah. So what that's going to do, that's going to work through correcting all of the matrix in the body. So if you see a client, so we go back to energy rejuve and we look at the MRs and we see a high priority within the MR cycle.
Yeah.
Okay. We can then actually run this cycle. Now, in this situation with Adam, it may be a really good idea when you see them next time to run the matrix regulator cycle.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, because this is actually what it's just doing, it's supporting the full matrix of the body, okay, rather than just lift individual MRs. Okay, so it can also help energetically for the body to recover from more complex health conditions.
Okay. And it will be like placing near the body or in the solar plexus or?
Absolutely, that's all you need to do. This is 54 minutes. Obviously, be aware that you've got an hour with the client. Generally, if I'm going to use the matrix regulator program on someone, I will just give them time. So it might be I just leave them in the clinic room on a couch, just having the matrix regulator program running for 54 minutes. I might do that, and then I'll spend time looking at the scan, or just having some quiet time and giving them some time just for the body to.
And you can repeat regularly or only once?
Yeah, so it's saying we should be looking at using the cycle every day if it's an acute problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But we wouldn't use it for more than 7 or 10 days in one block. Okay.
Because my idea with this case, I was planning to lend the miHealth for a few days, having himself at home, using it like this kind of cycles that you mentioned, and this one on a regularly once a day for at least 1 week, and see how is the impact, because that will be a very good feedback for the system that is been working. If we have it like this for a few days active, there will be I think a good idea.
Well, the other thing that you can do, so you could look at the definitely the radiation cycle, definitely the MR cycle. The other thing that we can do as well is to, if we look at the recommendations, we can create a miHealth cycle, which is what I wanted to show you today. So this is a great opportunity now to do this. Okay,
create miHealth cycle.
So all we're going to do, so I'm actually sort of in effect taken over your system at the moment. Okay, so if we click on create miHealth cycle, and we're going to,
or that will be for this case, for this patient, Adam.
That's correct. Yeah. Okay, and we've only got the one miHealth on your account at the moment. There's no, you don't have any miHealth assigned to clients. Okay, so it'd just be your miHealth. So if you're happy to have,
I will be giving, I will be giving for a few days the miHealth.
Okay, so we select the miHealth. Okay, and then we're going to call the
Adam.
So we know whose cycle it is. It's Adam. Okay, if we click this box here, it means that it'll pause between the functions. Okay, I would suggest that we just don't tick that box and just let the functions play one after each other. Okay, and we've got a choice here. We can run it for 7 days, 14 days, or 28 days. Now, obviously, you're
7 days.
7 days. Okay, and if we want to add any additional support, we can do. Okay. So we think about what's going on in his scan. It might be that we want to add in a little bit of love. In which case we just move love into there. Okay. It may be that we want to add in.
So the left available function is the one is offering, and the right column is the one that you will be implemented for his case.
That's correct. So it's giving you the 4 priority ERs and the 2 priority MRs. Okay.
And then love at the bottom as well.
And then if we wanted to, we could finish up with some energy. Okay. So we've reached our maximum functions. Now it might be that we want to start with energy, in which case we can put energy up here, and then we're going to finish with love.
Okay, and that will be the cycle of the 1 hour cycle.
No, this is so this is 2 minutes on each. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 18. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So so 16 minutes.
Okay. And that will be like personalized for him.
So we're going to save and create this cycle. Okay, so what I want you to do now is plug your miHealth back into your computer. And we're going to do the same thing with updating the miHealth.
We need to do again,
Yeah.
I go to the program,
Yes, please,
Check for updates,
That's the one, yes, please.
Update, So it's updating now the program for Adam on this miHealth, right?
Okay, so if you're loaning your miHealth to Adam, okay, so my recommendations at the moment would be to run the radiation cycle.
Do the radiation
cycle,
MR
cycle.
MR cycle,
And then he's now going to have his own personalized cycle, which will be the 16 minutes of those different ER and MR points. Plus some love and energy in there. Okay, now I think really that's probably enough.
Yeah.
Okay, because what I probably would say, run the radiation cycle and the ER cycle in the morning, and then run the MR cycle in the evening or later in the day.
Yeah. That's very good.
Okay, so let's have a look at the environment. Okay, now we're always going to see elements coming up on the environment. What we're really looking at is if there any infraceutical that are being.
Sorry, I lost your frame. Let me see where is.
Okay, might be what you might need to wait. Are you still looking at the biosync?
No.
Let me stop share for a moment. Back in or not?
Yeah.
Might just need to change the view that you're looking at.
I think it's still almost finishing the update. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I lost is your Zoom. Oh, it's here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Right. So let me go back into share screen again.
Yeah.
Okay. So just go having a look at the environmental screen. Okay. So as I said, the related infraceuticals, if you've got high priorities coming up and you see a lot of priorities within here, then you really need to look at that in terms of what recommendations we're going to be giving a client. Asbestos, all of these things that are coming up in here, we're not saying that they are in his body field, okay, but it's showing us that there may have been some damage at some point because of anything relating to asbestos, okay, so it may have been maybe infected and actually left the body field. It may have just left an imprint in there, okay. So it's not saying that the actual physical toxin is present in the body, okay. We just need to be aware of that when we're working with clients, but you would always expect to see some things coming up. It's just when we see a lot of priorities, then we perhaps need to, or you see a pattern that things keep repeating, that we need to then look at, okay, what is that's actually in the client's environment that's actually creating this.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We can look at toxic metals, agriculture. So we've got herbicides, but actually this is probably the best one of the best ones I've ever seen, in all fairness. Anything relating to food, mold, and radiation.
Right, that's the far infrared.
Yeah. Okay.
So that detox, that radiation cycle will be good in that case, no?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Because of what we saw coming up in on the big fields, definitely, yeah. We can also look at nutrition. Okay, so we can see that we've got some I suppose absorption issues with B vitamins. Okay, we can't say for definite yes, this person needs more B vitamins. It's just how the body's metabolizing them. Magnesium.
Yeah.
So it may be something that you want to, obviously it's something to, to delve deeper into with the client, looking at diet, nutrition.
Yeah.
Okay. We can look at proteins. Okay. And then we can look at antioxidants. Okay.
Wow. Catalyst. Wow. That's amazing program there.
Yeah. So digestion. So we've got metabolism, so pH balance. We can look at absorption. And we can also look at blood oxygenation.
Okay.
Okay, and then any sensitivities, we can look at individuals, so wheat, corn, legumes, tree nuts, nothing, citrus fruits, nightshades, and anything else that could be in there, so histamines.
Wow.
The life journey, so what I would look at on here would be the transformation program. So he's got, love, willpower, and compassion coming up. So it may be that you want to add the transformation program. And I'm just thinking for a couple of days, it's quite a lot of functions to be doing. So probably my recommendation would just be to keep with
the three you mentioned, no?
Yeah,
Radiation,
yeah,
MR, and not doing this one, the transformation. No.
Okay.
Right.
When we look at the life journey screen, if you go into the courageous cycle and we look at this, so this is, if we think about the cell driver in terms of our emotions that are connected with that, it's actually, so the cell driver is actually comes up as about identity. We've already seen an element of identity within Adam's scan. Okay, so it's unclear, about who we are. It can affect our goals. It can affect us, so many different things in life. If our identity and our cellular activity is not in tune. Okay, so kind of like it's like stuck, kind of like stuck in life, really. Not really knowing or having the confidence to be able to move forward. Okay. And then you can look at the kidney drive, which is about analyzing, to kind of trying to determine what we want and what we don't want in life. Okay. So always a nice idea to look at those as well. So when I go back to recommendations, so these are the pharmaceuticals that Adam's going to be taking, yeah? Okay. So I'm really pleased I've got that BFA and polarity have both come up on his scan, because they would have been something I would have definitely been recommending. So cell driver, memory imprinter, and the brainstem hologram. So this is a really lovely combination for him to be taking.
Okay, yeah. Based on your analysis, very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm really happy that that's come up on his scan. Yeah. Okay. So let me just stop share for a moment. So is your
what do I do now? I have the sorry.
You should have Adam's.
Yeah, appears on the screen. What is now doing this?
Okay, it's showing that it's charging. So it's what it's done, it's turned itself off. So you just press the button at the bottom, turn it back on.
Oh.
It's just showing that it's just charging. So the miHealth, even whether it's charging, it will turn itself off after a few minutes.
Yeah, now it's.
You've got Adam on there as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so after 7 days, then that would automatically disappear off your miHealth.
It's like after 7 days. I need to give it today as soon as possible.
Well, he's got 7 days, hasn't he? So
I'm not seeing him till probably Wednesday.
Okay, well that's fine, because so he has it from that's tomorrow. Yeah. That's, I mean, if you're going to loan it to him for a couple of days.
No, it will be like a week. It will be the week for the program. Yeah.
Okay, so we could, if you find that if we need to add some more days on, then we can just add that cycle again.
Okay. Can you add, like, I don't know if I will see him definitely Wednesday, but definitely Friday.
Okay.
I probably will be 10 days, or if possible to add it 10 days.
Okay, well, we can't extend that, but what we can do, we can create the cycle again.
Okay, that's fine.
So when you go into if I share the screen with you again.
So what I do with him is giving this and say, once a day you press the Adam, click on Adam and just do it. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
and then repeat the next day, and then searching for the radiation cycle and the AMR cycle to do it as well. Yeah,
that's correct. Yes, but make sure that we're not running the radiation cycle and the MR cycle in the same. We can do it on the same day, but do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, or in the evening.
Yeah, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then the other one in the evening. Yeah.
Yeah. So my suggestion would be run the radiation cycle and Adam's personalized cycle in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, and then run the MR cycle in the evening.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. It's going to be like a motorbike now.
Okay, so if
Thank
you
you.
want,
It will be a good, it will be a good test because obviously he's been struggling for the last 2 months.
yeah,
And I just said he was my first case. I was implementing the system when I do the trial, and I'm happy that it can be going deeper and deeper
yeah,
in the treatment
yeah.
to see if it works. That will be very nice.
Yeah, yeah, but no, absolutely. I mean, it'll help to support his, definitely support him. And it's especially if it is a sort of it's especially when somebody's very, played sport at a high level, and and how long ago did he finish playing?
He finished playing around 3 years, 4 years ago. He was in a high professional level of
Yeah,
competition, and he was very competitive in terms of being like the best one, performing the best. He was very, and now he stopped. Obviously, he has the consequences of the posture, and probably the tension that he has for all these years, and now it's like suddenly it's coming up. Everything is coming out, like running off energy, completely exhausted, completely like panicking. It's like now it's like the consequences of what has done for many, many, many years.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And also, especially in often we'll see with people who've been in a sort of a high sports environment, and yes, the fact that he is competitive. Anyone who plays sport at that level has got to have a level of competitiveness. Otherwise, what would be the point? Because we're always sort of they're striving to sort of constantly be the best, stay ahead of the game, and also that identity about what comes with that, and the I suppose people associate you with you being a high sports person. What happens when that career suddenly comes to an end? Because you know because they've kind of got to deal with they're perhaps not being picked for the team as much as they used to be. They're perhaps on the reserve bench more than what they used to be, and all of a sudden that just stops. But what do you do then?
Yeah, he's like I listen to him saying he's looking for something else to do, not on the sport related, but more like another type of career, like in psychology or I don't know, something else. No, and it's in this moment when he's trying to find his identity after being playing football in a high level, or this hockey in a high level. So
Yeah,
he's in a kind of bridge, probably
yeah,
finding his identity of what can I do, and what
mm,
and this
yeah,
is probably something that will be helped by the
mm,
treatment, saying like that. No.
yeah. And it must be, it must be very difficult when somebody has been, has such a, an intense career, because it is an intense career, isn't it?
Yeah.
For a shorter time. And you see it all the time with, I know footballers are adored by many, and when they're kind of in the, at the peak of their career, it's like, people shower them with gifts, and just where they just my friend of my late husband's, his son is a footballer. He played for Liverpool, played for England, and you know he was constantly being given items, mostly clothing items, even cars sometimes, because it was a great advertisement, the fact that he would wear this particular type of make of jean or trainers and stuff like that. But all of a sudden that stops as well,
Yeah.
because there's newer people coming in. He was on adverts for sort of face moisturizers and stuff like that, and he's too old for face moisturizer adverts now, because they want people under 30. They don't want people over 30. They want them under 30 when they're still fresh faced. And
Yeah.
I kind of get that, because that's what we all buy into, isn't it? So it must be very challenging all of a sudden, having had all of that to nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
What to do. So I mean, the whole identity and that heart connection has got to be a massive change for people, and that's sadly why some of them, just they just fizzle out, don't they? They don't have an identity anymore because they've lost it and they can't find a new one. So it's really interesting that, yeah, I'd be really interested to know what the outcome is.
Can I ask you one thing? I see a person, but his son suffer from autism.
Yeah.
Is this system will be help? It will be a possibility of helping the miHealth and
Yeah,
this.
definitely. Definitely. We've had some really, I mean, one of the challenges we have as a company is trying to get people to do, testimonials and case studies, because often the client doesn't want to be part of that testimonial case study because they just feel as though it's an improvement on their
Because what
privacy, really. But yeah.
I met the mother the other day, and he mentioned about he was struggling because of his son, his autism. And in a moment I was saying, I would be a good idea probably to offer this system. I didn't say anything, but I was wanting to ask you if will be a good idea to offer to the scan and see how it progressed. Because in a moment I said, and said, we try everything. The typical mother in a high level of social life. Suddenly he probably went to all the specialists and so on, so on, so on. And she's saying, I try everything. And I was thinking to myself, well, this is new.
Yeah.
There's nothing to lose. Shall I offer this? That's why I'm asking you, because
definitely. We've had some really great, when I talk to practitioners, they've had some really great changes with children with autism. It's not a cure, but what it can do, it can help support it. What we found is the children are able to communicate better, their behavior can change. But we had one a few years ago, and they were twins, and I actually met the twins. They came into our office a couple of times, and one of them would come in, he'd like smile and chat, and the other one would come in and he wouldn't look at anybody. He was like his head down the whole time, and he was like a lot smaller than his twin brother. Within 2 or 3 months, they came into the office, and I just couldn't believe the change. And this little chap had grown a few inches, so he's almost as tall as his brother. So there was definitely an absorption issue going on in the gut. He came in. It wasn't, I wouldn't say he was smiling, but he came over and he was talking to me and showing me something. And it was like, wow. As a family, they were able to go out more because he wouldn't create issues like he used to create. Because and people always used to look and go, oh my God, can't you control your child? That type of look. And nobody really understood what they were going through as a family. And so, yeah, definitely it can help.
I can probably contact and see if there's any possibility, and then we can share the information and give me guidance on how to handle it. And I can let you know if it's
definitely. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah,
will be a good case if it goes ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's been very, very nice.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll get this recording uploaded onto the YouTube channel and get that link across to you. So just to let you know, obviously the link that I share with you is only available. You're only available to view the videos if you've got the link. You can't search for anything on YouTube.
Sorry, what you're saying?
The link that I send you of the recording.
Yeah, the previous one.
Yeah. So the new link, again, it's not listed it's listed as a private video, which means only people with the link can actually watch it.
Yeah, will be just for me.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to share with anybody. It's just